Hello and welcome to my P3 screencast for creating system calls that will retrieve and set custom file attributes. So the first thing I did was modify the syscall table located at this directory, and then I just added my get and set classification at the bottom here at 334 and 335. Alright, after I did that, I went to the file system directory located here, and I modified the xatch.c. The reason I did this is because this is the file that contains the methods for setting and getting extended attributes. Okay. Here we are for my first system call, set classification. It takes in two parameters, path name and class level. I did this current path here to get the path, look up the path name and set it to this path here. And I used VFS set X attribute, which was defined in above in the file. I used VFS instead of the original setX attribute to deal with the super user handling. This checks for permissions before setting the attribute. And this first argument is the D entry, which I just got from this current path. And then this is the attribute and the value that we're setting it to, and then the size, and then the flags. And here we check if it's greater than or equal to 0, then return the level, and if not, then return -1. Some handling there. This is my second system call for getting the classification level. All it does is take in the path name. We also use the current path here to get the path. If there is an error looking up the path, then return -1, so that's if the file doesn't exist. And I also use the VFS for checking permissions before getting the attribute. And I did path.dentry and the rest here. And here we get the value. If the value is greater than 0, return the value, else return 0. Alright, that's it. And now let's go to our source files. So this is my classification.c. These methods were implemented in defined in classification.h, and I implemented them here. And this is where I make the system call to set the classification from the file name given with the new classification level, and then I return the status here, and the same for the get. Okay. And then here's my makefile, just to compile the classification and the source files and make a library. Okay, and then I linked the library against the test file to, there it is. Well, I didn't make it yet. Let's go back and make it. And there we linked the test against the library. Let's go ahead and test it out. And since I already ran this, it's gonna get the 5 because I set it already. And then set the 5 and get it. And the last one was a file that didn't exist and returned a -1. And that completes my screencast for Project 3.